Hello and welcome to Mash.ie's video on how to learn your tables without learning them off by heart. Over the last few videos we have shown you basically how to learn all these tables off learning simple tricks. We've also learned from 0, 1, 2, 10, 9, 5 and 4 doing the rest of the 6, 7, 8s in our last video, and now we're finally down to the final set of tables, the last 4 tables that we haven't learned without the commutative property. 3 multiplied by 4, 3 multiplied by 6, 3 multiplied by 7 and 3 multiplied by 8. They are the last tables that one needs to learn if you are going to learn your tables. And I always say that basically rather than learning them off by heart, look, there is a rule, and I went through it in the last video, that you can double your number and add that number again. So 3 multiplied by 6, double 6 is 12, and then add another 6 to get 18. That gives you the strategy, and maybe that's a good way of consolidating. I think it might be a useful one. Some people find that nice, some people don't. So that's really how you learn the 3 times tables in a nutshell. 3 multiplied by 7, double 7 is 14, add 7 again is 21, 8, 16, add another 8, you've got 24, 3 by 3, double 9, 6, and then add 3, 9. So I mean, you can do it that way. It's our way of doing it, and I kind of find it okay. But what I would be suggesting, other ways of learning your tables, particularly your 3 times tables, is through association, and I am going to go through some of those right now. And basically, if you need to know, I'm going to do, this is one I do. I'm going to see if you can guess. It's kind of like dingbats or something like that. Okay, so I am going to get a 6, a 6, and a 6. And I am going to give them big teeth and sharp fangs. And they're going to be chasing after someone. Now, this is a film. What film am I showing, or which table am I showing, which is now a film? Well, that film is the attack of the 3 6s. And obviously that's a very scary film, so it's definitely going to need an 18 certificate. 3 by 6 is 18. Very good. Yeah, 3 by 6 is 18. So that's how I would learn that table. 3 by 8 is another tricky table that some people don't like. I like to do that by drawing 3 8s like so. To me, they look very like they look like egg timers. Little egg timers there, aren't they? How many hours are there in a day? Well, there are 24 hours in a day, so 3 8s, 3 egg timers, morning, afternoon and night might get you your full day, which is 24. 3 8s is 24. I like that one. I think that's quite a nice one. Some people look at slot machines. I like slot machines for 3 7s, because if you are at a slot machine, this is a very bad drawing of a slot machine, and you pull the lever and you might get 3 lucky 7s. So 3 lucky 7s, and your payout for getting 3 lucky 7s is €21. So you could win €21 by getting 3 lucky 7s. Another way of doing that. The other one, another one here that might help you out, is 3 by 3 is my baseball team. Team. So we draw a 3 by 3 grid of a baseball pitch, and we place all the players on it. We'll have 9 players on our baseball pitch. So 3 by 3 is our baseball bat, little one there. So 3 3s is your baseball team equals 9, because there's 9 players on a baseball team. So that's how I would do 3 by 3. It's alright, it's not bad, it does what it's supposed to do. I don't know, some of the harder tables, say that finger trick with the 6 7 8s doesn't work for you. Sometimes that can be a bit tricky. I'll give you some other tactics. Look at a chessboard for an 8 by 8. How many squares are there in a chessboard? So we call it the chessboard problem. 64 squares on a chessboard. I also love 7 by 8 because I love the way you can write that as a different way. Instead of writing 7 by 8 is 56. I like to do 56 as 7 by 8 because you have 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a nice pattern there, or some way to remember it. 7 by 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, why didn't I think of that when I was in school? And a couple of other ones. Teach. I don't know. I think it's a terrible shame if people don't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a very nerdy but very good novel and a trilogy of 5 books. And that's not my words, that's his. Did you know what the meaning of life was? The meaning of life, if you read the book, is 42. And do you know what the question to the answer to the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? Well, it is 6 by 7. So if you read The Hitchhiker's Guide, that section in The Hitchhiker's Guide, I'm sure I would be breaking copyright by reading it out, but find a copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and find the section where they tried to build a supercomputer to help them discover what the meaning of life, the universe, and everything was. The answer came out as 42. It's quite funny, the scene, and well worth reading the full book, apart from that section, to the kids, if they're a little bit older, in fact. 3rd, 4th class, I'd say they might get most of it. It's a good book. It's also a TV series set in the 80s with some really 80s effects, and a film that was that was made, a remake of it, set about, I don't know, when was it, about 10 years ago. It's dreadful, but at the same time, sure, look, it's the story of it. It was also a radio series, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic, buy it. That is that table. There was one that I found really annoying, 6 by 8. 6 by 8. How am I going to do 6 by 8? Well, this little thing helped me in the end, this size, because that is the same size as a 6 by 8 photograph. And if you think of a 6 by 8 photograph, you'd often think of photographs as holiday photographs. So I kind of did a little beach scene. There's a deck chair here, maybe, I don't know, I'm not very good at drawing, as you can see. A deck chair, and who's there having an old ice cream in this 6 by 8 photograph? 6 by 8 photograph here is there is a number 4, and he's having an ice cream, and he's there chatting to his friend number 8, who's I suppose wearing some togs. And yeah, there you go, that's a 6 by 8 photograph. And again, you're just using these visualizations to learn some ideas around some of those trickier tables that you might not have remembered. I mean, there's loads of others, but basically at the end of the day, you can see that I have managed to successfully teach you how to teach all the tables without learning one of them off by heart. There's plenty of other visual sort of ideas for some of the tables, but I mean, really, if you know your rules, anything by 0 is 0, anything by 1 is 1, 2, double the number, kids like doubling, 10, add a 0, 9, use your finger trick, 5, teach time, don't teach 5s, just teach your 5 times tables through teaching time, 4 is double, you got your 6, 7 and 8s that are left there through that finger trick that I taught in the last video. 3s, you can double and then add the number again, or you can try out your little trick of visualizations, just the little pictures that I was showing you there. But ultimately, with all those rules, you don't need to learn your tables off by heart ever again. And it's simple, and it is a very nice feeling to have that grid filled in, blanked out at the end of your 6 or 7 or 8 lessons. And that is it. In less than an hour, I have taught you how to teach the tables without learning any of them off by heart. And I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you have any comments, let me know, or any arguments, please certainly let me know. But thanks for watching. I hope it was of some use, and I'll be back again, maybe with some other ideas. By the way, actually, just before I go, I don't teach division tables. I teach the relationship between multiplication and division. So once you know multiplication, you should, through the inverse, know division. Just so you know, a lot of practice on that, but I don't think there's any point in doing a full video on that. I think this extra 15 seconds of just telling you that probably should do. So that is it. Now it's definitely it. I'm not going to say another thing. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you again for another Mash.ie video. Bye.